All right, we're here again at Wenatchee High School in Wenatchee, Washington. Nice drive up today for a state regional battle. Win and you're in. Stadium taking on Richland. The Bombers here live on WashingtonSportsNetwork.com. Again, this game being brought to you courtesy of the Richland Bomber Boosters. And there, Bomber guy. If you're a Bomber fan, you've heard that before. Nathan Streufert set to tip off.
You can feel the excitement in here, Z. The tension just mounting. A lot of Richland fans made the trip over. Big stadium student section as well.
Mayu, Streufert set to tip off.
Stadium gets a tip, and we're gonna try to see this slow, methodical pass around offense.
Stadium likes to work it in the half-court set. This is where they're most comfortable. Glacken, Coley. Foul is going to go to the line. Nice power move.
Yeah, good play by Glacken Coley. Notice kind of the man-to-man just took it in there, and he had it open, but was fouled on the play. Just wasn't able to get it in there. But it's got 2 shots at the line.
Glacken Coley, a 6'3" senior. And the first one's good.
And like we talked to Coach Doug Coquet earlier, just talks about how it's a senior-led team and they've started to gel kind of at the right time. Whereas on the other end, you see this Bomber team, a lot of younger underclassmen.
Well, the second one missed, but they get the rebound. Good work around, and the block by Streufert.
Nice play by Streufert to get in there without fouling him and just tap it away.
Streufert working out to DeVries.
And you can see Richland really wanting to speed it up right now.
Back to Bale. Bale controls it over to DeVries on the right side. He looks in, looking for his shot. He's going to feed Streufert. Streufert, dribble drive, up and missed. Rebound by Coley.
Streufert got in there, rushed it a little bit. Maybe got a little antsy. It's a big game and just pushed a little too hard.
Strickland feeds the ball over to Glacken Coley. Inside to Mayo. Jump hook and count it. 3-0.
Yeah, nice little hook by Mayo. Again, just posting up on the smaller Richland Bombers and able to hook it and get it in there.
This is a small gym. You can definitely feel the intensity.
And, you talk about the big dime crowds that we're used to seeing and the Mid-Columbia Conference crowds, but I mean, stadium's up there with the best of them with only, looks like half the amount we're used to seeing over in the MCC.
Taylor Strickland with the foul there on Radliff. Radliff go to the line, shooting 2.
Good for the Bombers just to kind of, break the ice, get on the board, just going to get things rolling a little bit. As Radliff able to knock down the first. Radliff again with the second. Cool as ice.
So 3-2. Richland in a full court press now, trying to force the tempo, maybe get a little turnover here.
Yeah, good strategy by Coach Earl Streufert, knowing the kind of offense they played, an even balanced team, trying to get them a little out of their element.
Strickland looks in, kicks it over. Glacken Coley. He looks into Mayo. Ball's going to be rebounded eventually by Strickland. Jordan Powers with the layup.
And defensively on Richland kind of did what they want to do. It just got away from him there. And Stadium had an open guy who was able to get a lay-in, but you see how Stadium's getting a little antsy and trying to push it.
Yeah. DeVries down low, bucket, and it's good. Jacob DeVries with the first field goal for the Richland Bombers, 5-4.
Nice play by DeVries just to pull it within 1 for the Bombers. And here's this hard press, and you can see Richland's kind of see what they can get away with on the defensive end. How hard are they going to be able to play these guys?
Yeah.
And it looks so far that they're able to get away with it.
Mayo. And that looks like Hilty going to be called on the block.
They're saying Hilty moved himself a little bit there. And from this angle, I couldn't quite see it.
So Mayo, a 6'5" junior, and he's very athletic so far. He's made some very nice moves around the basket. He's tough to defend.
Yeah, and overall, just a big lineup here for the Stadium Tigers. You can see Anderson Conley at 6'2", Mayo at 6'5", Anderson at 6'5". A lot of guys above 6 foot here.
Mayo with the bucket, 6-4. It'll be interesting to see if Richland tries to run a little bit more. They've been okay with just setting up in the half-court offense. I bet you they want to get out and run as Mayo hits the second free throw.
I'm sure they do. And on the opposite end, Streufert's used to kind of passing around and having the balanced offense in prior years. So he kind of knows what it takes to defend it. So it'll be interesting to see how how it plays out going forward.
Yeah. Now Stadium comes out in a full court press, a soft full court press. They're going to sink back into half court, just trying to pressure the ball a little bit. 10-second count.
Good defense by Strickland, able
to
tap it away.
Almost got to the 10-second count there. 25 seconds on the shot clock. 5:21 on the game clock. 7-4 Stadium.
And as you just pointed out, Doug Coquet of Stadium is kind of jawing with the officials, saying it was a 10 count.
Well, he's letting them know. Streufert on the right side. He's going to look inside for his shot. Down to Broeske. Broeske off the iron, but tipped back and almost in. The ball's going to stay Richland.
And I like the pace of the game, for both sides. I like how the refs are letting them play defensively, just letting the players settle it.
Typically, that's what you see when you get to this level, the state level. They let the players play. They don't want to affect the game too much.
Sometimes it just takes one official to catch
Radliff.
The wrong way.
DeVries looking for Broeske. Now he'll find Streufert on the outside. Pump fake. Defended well by Mayo. Mayo gets the steal. Coach wants him to push the ball. And Radliff with the quick hands and a steal up to DeVries. He'll be fouled and counted.
And count the bucket.
Bucket
by DeVries to just take the hit, kind of wait a little bit, take the hit and scoop it in with the right hand. Gives Richland, about to give Richland the tie if he can make the bucket here.
We've seen that pretty much every game out of Richland. One of those bucket and foul conversions as DeVries misses the free throw and gets called for the reach in.
A little bit out of anger. It looks like he just tried to poke it away. A little bit out of anger for missing that free throw. You can see kind of Richland is kind of pushing the tempo, especially defensively, and getting Stadium to do passes they not necessarily wanted to do.
Yeah, well, that's what you got to do. You want to get those easy buckets off of the turnover there. That last time down court, the shot contested. DeVries is fouled and goes to the line, but that's Richland's game. Mayo, he's going to dish it off to Conley. Glacken Conley with the bucket.
And Richland's really got to lock in on that man if they're going to defend these guys. These guys are getting open passes in the lane.
Oh, Streufert. One thing Streufert's done over the last few weeks, he's added some more power moves to his game. Not just settling for the outside shot, looking to take it in strong and draw contact. He did it that time, almost converted on that bucket.
Yeah, similar to the old John Carlisle days at Kamaikan, where he was kind of a timid player. Now he's kind of, like you said, upped it in the power aspect of it.
Streufert hits the free throw, 9-7, Stadium. First sub of the game for Stadium. It's number 35, Lucius Brown, a 6'4" junior, in for Jordan Powers. So a little bit more, take the guard, Jordan Powers, out of the game, bring in Brown, a little bit more muscle. Man, and he's going to bring the ball up the court. He's the point guard, huh? Brown over to Strickland. Out to Mayo, they're moving the ball around the perimeter, looking inside to Glacken Coley. Coley back to Anderson. Conley. Anderson, Conley, and Glacken Coley. This is Brown. He's going to drive in. That's an easy call to make.
He was just camped out there, just waiting for him. And it didn't look like a lot of power, but he's a bigger guy, Lucius Brown is, and he just powered through Streufert. And Streufert, you can see the excitement in him, gives him a fist pump and a yes, coming the other way.
Just the bigger body of Brown. Almost an automatic, you figure there, a foul on that. Now, the Bombers attacking. Radliff just off the front of the iron. It's going to be rebounded.
But definitely with the Bombers, if we're going to succeed in the state playoffs, Radliff's got to get going. And you want to see him take that shot a little short on that end. But it should be, once they get him started, it should really propel the Bombers.
So a foul on Glacken-Coley. We inbound the ball back to Radliff. He'll take another three ball.
Boom, baby! And that's what we're talking about. Radliff gets his stroke going. Even took it from a foot outside the three-point line.
Yep, the catch and shoot, the three-pointer by Radliff. Now it's an 11-9 game. Richland. Brown brings the ball up the court for Stadium. They look inside to Mayo.
I'll tell you what, the first time seeing the Stadium Ball Club, I'm impressed with Lucius Brown, how nimble and agile he is coming down the floor.
Stadium inbound the ball. Anderson Conley over to Strickland, looking in for Mayo, and it's picked off by Radliff. Over to Bayo, the freshman, in the corner. He takes Brown to the middle, tries a scoop shot, no foul called. Rebound, Stadium. Then DeVries with the hustle points, comes up with the ball.
Yeah, it looks like Richland's getting Stadium out of their game and getting a little flustered here. Mayo coming in the lane out to DeVries.
No foul called there. Richland fans wanted one. Here's Mayo. Driving in off the iron, rebound by the Bombers.
And Bayo taking the ball off the floor. And one thing I've noticed about Bayo all year, he doesn't seem to look like a freshman at all.
No, he doesn't. Streufert. Broeske out to DeVries. Now the Bombers are going to move the ball back around. They're going to reset the offense. Broeske looking inside over to Bayo. Out to Streufert, top of the key, pump fake, drive to the hole. Foul.
And there's that power game you're talking about of Streufert. And not only is he kind of able to power his way through, he's able to have control, which is something you don't always get out of a big man.
So the foul's starting to rack up a little bit for Stadium. They've got 16 fouls. And here comes a sub into the game. Senior Jacob Bills.
Already the Stadium fans letting officials have it.
Yeah, in for Corey Glacken-Coley. Streufert now. He'll kick it over to Bayo, the freshman. Back to Streufert, top of the key, drive hard to the basket. Kicks it over to Broeske, count it. 13-9.
And good look there. Broeske was just sitting there and knocked it down.
Now Anderson Connolly bring the ball up the court for Stadium. Tigers like to run things out of the half-court set. They kick it over to Mayo, top of the key, back over to Connolly. Into Brown. Brown. Pump fake up and under. Gets his own rebound. Draws contact and count it. Lucius Brown.
Nice play by Brown to really just get in there and not give up on the play. The first time just took a horrible shot, kind of trying to draw the foul and then put it up.
And Anderson Connolly is down. Oh, excuse me, that's Bills. That's Jacob Bills under the basket. Got caught up there among the trees and looked like he might have took an elbow to the neck. He's holding that shoulder. Doesn't look like it's dislocated. So no foul. We'll get an explanation from the ref.
Ref looks like he's kind of just trying to tell, what he saw and tell him to cut it out a little bit because there's a little foul play.
Eric Tuttle, the junior, 5'7" junior, is going to come in for Bills.
As well as Nathan Lasky, the senior.
He's going for Strickland 4. We already got sub in for 5. Okay. Hey!
So Anderson, Lasky, Brown at the free throw line. Strickland and Mayo in there for Stadium. And now, Tuttle's going to come in for Strickland, his first rest of the game.
Hits a bucket and bringing kind of some of the smaller guards in here that we haven't seen yet in this game for Stadium.
Also the freshman
Yep, that's Crandall. He's going to bring the ball up the court, now being pressured. Gets back into their half-court set. Radliff back to Streufert. 13-12, Bombers leading by 1. Crandall looking across court to DeVries, can't get it to him, but Radliff does. Now the shot up, off the iron, rebound, Mayo. Here come the Tigers.
They're going to push it.
Brown with the rebound. Off the iron, had the chip shot, couldn't convert.
And that's what Richland wants. Richland wants Stadium to be forced into this, you know, this full court game and kind of just speed it up.
Now the zone, the matchup zone here by the Tigers. Richland's just going to move the ball. They find Streufert down low. Up and in. And here's a press from the Bombers. 15-12, Bombers lead. 11 seconds on the clock. Brown bringing the ball up for Stadium. Brown, he's going to hoist up a 3-ball. It's off the iron. Rebound by the Bombers. And that'll do it for the first quarter of play. Richland 15, Stadium 12. After 1. Wenatchee, Washington, this 4A state regional playoff game between the Richland Bombers, the home team wearing the white and green, and the Stadium Tigers in the blue and yellow. Radliff, Richland takes a shot. Off the iron, rebounded though by Streufert. Back out to Radliff. He'll take another jumper.
Boom, baby! And that's something like Radliff likes to do. He'll shoot every time if he can, and he can hit them.
Mayo rejected by Streufert.
What a play by
They're
Streufert.
pumped up about that. You hear the
He's
Richland
really
crowd.
pumped up. Mayo comes into the lane, and slow motion, you saw the lob come up, and you saw Streufert's hand just slowly come up and slap it out of there.
Well, we wondered, I thought we might see a dunk. I thought Mayo might go up hard and try to bring the rim down. Instead, Streufert goes up harder, rejects a shot by Mayo. Great defensive play at the rim from Richland Bombers, and the crowd loves it.
And you can see the aggressiveness of Richland's really starting to take over early. And if Stadium wants to stay in this game, they need to keep to their strengths. They're starting to push it a little bit. They need to slow it down, do what they do. Let's pass it around and get back into this ball game. They're only 6 points down, so they're still in it.
It seemed like Stadium came out with the momentum to start off with, like they had the edge, feeling like they were supposed to be here, which they obviously are. Now the momentum, you know, seeming to swing ever so slightly to the Richland Bombers off that big block by Streufert. We'll see what Stadium, how they can respond. Anderson Conley kicks it over to Brown. Looking towards the wing. He's going to drive hard to the bucket. Anticipated the contact. There was no contact, and he slipped. Traveling. It's going to be a turnover.
And we've seen what happens just looking at their past games, what Stadium does when they get out of their game. 20-point loss last week to South Kitsap in their division to you know, loser outcome in here. And just numerous 20 to Curtis, another 20-point loss.
Strickland and Powers back into the game for Stadium, the two seniors. And there's a turnover, Mayo, and a foul on DeVries, his second. So Powers, senior guard, he's got 2 fouls on him, but he's back into the game for Stadium. 18-12, 6:56 remaining here in the second quarter, this do-or-die game from Wenatchee. Powers, short jumper, short, off the iron. Rebounded by Richland.
And just a good 15-footer by Powers, just short on the play. Gets plenty of air, so it's not in the legs. It just looks like he's got a little bit of those state jitters.
DeVries, Streufert, little two-man game. Now there's a mix-up. Streufert able to tip the ball. Heads-up play by Streufert. Now Broeske's going to take the outside jumper. He's short, air ball, rebounded by Richland. Now it's a tip drill. Strickland comes up with the ball. He's going to dive on the court. No foul called, no call.
Here we go.
Bayo, he'll take the three. Just long. Broeske with the block.
Get it out! What a play by Bayo, and just physically the game is back and forth. Just a great game to be at.
This is a track meet now.
Which is something Stadium definitely doesn't want to get into with these Bombers who we've seen score in the upper 90s this year.
Inbounds pass into DeVries. He's going to look down to Streufert. Bombers going to kick it around. Mason Hilty into the game now for the Bombers. Streufert kicks it over to Bayo. Over to Broeske, back into Streufert, and the dunk, plowed it. Nathan Streufert up for two with a little nice little slam-a-jamma.
And there's that jam you were talking about. He just comes in there, kind of dribbles into the lane, and just an easy dunk there for Streufert.
When he recognizes that he can do that pretty much anytime he's in the paint, that's when his game goes to the next level.
Makes him so effective as a player, and he's only a junior.
Mayo also a junior for Stadium. Anderson Conley now, he's going to reset the offense. 20-12, 8-point lead, Richland. Quick hands by Radliff, but Mayo's going to take the short jumper. Strickland with the rebound, up and in. So Stadium very active on the boards.
Definitely very active on the boards, banging around, especially on both sides.
DeVries.
Bayo, the freshman, getting right into the lane, laying it in off the glass over Brown.
Back to an 8-point lead for the Bombers. 4:33 on the clock here in the second quarter.
I don't think Bayo wants anybody to know that he actually is a freshman.
Well, after, they played over 20 games, probably qualifies as not being a freshman in basketball standards. Brown just can't find the iron. 2 chip shots for Brown.
And
unable to find
on
the
both sides. We're just seeing the butterfingers here.
Lob pass to Streufert. They continue to play. No call. Rejection by Mayo. Powers. He'll get his own rebound. And again.
And we'd like to say that in the Mid-Columbia Conference, they do these type of things. As Richard calls a timeout, they do these type of all-AU.
Stadium very much in this game. They're a couple shots away from this thing being a very tight game. They just got to get under control. It looks like they're going to go with a slightly shorter lineup here with Strickland.
From either way, and we've seen that with the WSU Cougars in prior years under Tony Bennett, the slow it up offense. When they get down too much, it's almost hard to overcome. So they really need to keep it, at arm's length here.
Strickland, Anderson, Conley, Glacken, Coley, and the sophomore, Bobby Moorhead. Plus Jordan Powers on the floor for the Tigers. Richland. DeVries feeds Streufert. Streufert's going to face up, looking for the cutting Bayo. Bucket and the foul.
And count the basket, put him on the line. And that's one of those things where Anderson Conley was beat and tried to get an arm in there and just ended up getting Bayo on the arm as he went in and gave Bayo the easy and one.
Well, the focus went to Streufert. He was out there on the wing. A post guy like that, you expect something's going to happen there. All he did was wait for the cutting Bayo.
And this, especially later in the year, we've seen him early in the year where, we've seen him kind of compete, be close to teams. But Richland's really starting to get in their element here in February.
25-14, 11-point lead, 3:18 left to go here in the first half. Anderson Conley down low. Jordan Powers, he'll be fouled. He's going to go to the line, shooting 2.
Yeah, just a little bump by Jordan Powers there, but
He's that close to the bucket. It's better, foul him than getting the easy lay-in.
DeVries just picked up his 3rd foul. Probably going to see a sub out here. As Powers throws up the air ball.
And that's got to play into the psyche a little bit of a player, especially in the state tournament.
We'll see how Powers responds.
As we're here, Doug
Can't
Coquet
convert
really,
on the second one.
Doug Coquet really
11-point lead again by Richland.
And we talked to Doug Coquet earlier in the game, as you mentioned, a brother of Mike Coquet, who's over at Foss, who we saw last year come in and play Kamiakin in the 3A state tournament.
3 fouls on Glack and Coley. He'll come out of the game, be replaced again by the sophomore, Bobby Moorhead. Some good length on this stadium team. They got 6'5", 6'5". They got 3 kids 6'5", and 2 over 6'3".
Which you think should bode well for Stadium as far as, you know, getting offensive rebounds, but Richland's kind of been beating them to the punch so far.
Yeah, they just got out of sync. If they can hit some of those short layups, that'd be a completely different game, obviously, but they just got to settle down, take their time on those shots down low. They've had plenty of good looks down in the paint.
The Bombers now with a 13-point lead, 27-14, near doubling
The output of Stadium.
Pressure still, though, by Richland. That's Anderson Conley with the short jumper. They needed that one.
And fortunate for Anderson Conley, but again, he speeded into the lane, got the bounce, but that's not what Stadium needs to do.
Jump hook by Streufert is off the iron, but he gets his own rebound, puts it up with the left hand, count it.
And Bombers really taking over and kind of able just to score at will here.
Yeah, with Glack and Coley out of the game.
Yeah, especially in the paint. You know, usually we're used to seeing Radliff from outside, but I mean, Streufert's really taking over.
Oh, got away with it. Nope, he didn't travel. Sophomore turns it over. Full court pressure, though, by Stadium. Stadium's going to get a timeout.
Broeske checks into the game for the Bombers.
Now the foul situation starting to play into the strategy a little bit here for Stadium. With Glack and Coley out of the game, he's one of their post players. They go with the sophomore, Bobby Moorhead. Not quite as physical as Glack and Coley. Again, this game being brought to you courtesy of the Richland Bomber Booster Club. Big thanks to all the Bomber Boosters for making this game possible. Hope you're enjoying the live webcast. Richland, 29-16, 13-point lead. 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. Payton Radliff is going to kick the ball over to Nathan Streufert. Didn't want the screen. Looking back to Radliff. He's going to hoist up 3 ball. It's off the iron, but it will be rebounded by Mayo. Here come the Tigers. Strickland draws a foul.
Yeah, Mayo moving a little bit underneath there. Just kind of needs to be placed, trying to play defense in the last second, decided to kind of place himself and ended up getting the foul.
First one, Strickland off the back of the iron. 1:50 remaining here in the second quarter.
You know, rule of thumb, when you're down early in the first half, get it into single digits.
This one's in and out. We're having a hard time shooting on that basket.
And maybe it's a case where Stadium's like, let's get to the other hoop.
Yeah, that could be. Sometimes that's all it takes. Stadium crowd looking for a reason to cheer. Streufert, Broeske, Radliff, Bayo, and McCullough on the floor for the Bombers. Streufert out of 3-point line. He's going to look for a shot. Nope, he's going to reset it to Radliff. Radliff is going to hoist up a 3-pointer. That's going to be short. McCullough, though. McCullough tips the air ball almost over the back of the backboard.
Although that wouldn't have been an invalid shot, would have been a nice Larry Bird-esque type shot.
Richland with this full court pressure. Inbound the ball to Mayo. Looking to get it back to Anderson Conley. Mayo just going to bring it up. No, he's going to flip it back to Conley. Conley looking for his jumper. They're going to reset. 23 seconds on the shot clock. Over to the sophomore, Moorhead. He'll take the ball, shoot it. It's off. And man. Looks like he lost his finger tape. That's Streufert, so Tiger's gonna get the ball.
He doesn't need it.
Excuse me, Mayu. Called him the wrong name. Powers looked to throw it off the foot of McCullough. Now he's gonna fight for the ball. He's pushed.
Why did he say that? As in the NBA, that would be a, what they call a clear basket foul? But he's just gonna get 2 here. And Richland, with only 48 seconds left, looking to push the lead up to 15 going into the half.
So it looks like Brown Brown's going to relieve Strickland.
And with each of these guards we see come in, it's almost like a totally different offense that we see run. They all have their own little style.
McCullough, the junior, buries the first one. 30-16 now, largest lead of the game for the Bombers with 48.8 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. McCullough, free throw made.
Yeah, Stadium just out of their element, only 16 points in the first half with 48 seconds to go. And we know they can score. You know, they usually average 50 to 60 points a game. So as McCullough gets charged for the travel. And I know a lot of coaches that we talk to, you know, that say they preach carry the ball. You do that little carry on that side basket.
We heard it last week, yeah, with the Gonzaga prep, Lady Bullpups.
Say John Stockton teaches his girls to kind of push the ball as a carry because it's not going to get as called as much and you get it more of an advantage.
Streufert going to work. He'll get tied up with Mayu.
I hadn't heard that before, but it makes sense.
Yeah, if you can get away with it, sure.
They say 1 out of 10 times it's going to be called, and it's worth it, you know, to get that advantage.
Yeah, but you got to do it quickly. You can't do it on a slow break. Brown looking deep, but he'll inbound the ball to Powers. 22 seconds, no shot clock. He's going to turn the ball over. Radliff with the quick hands. Radliff going to pull it back out over to Streufert, looked at his three, and he'll get called for a travel.
Yeah, he slid, shoveled the feet a little bit, got a little antsy. He likes to shoot the three. We see him stroke it. He can shoot it from long distance. But it looks like 13 seconds left. Stadium's going to get the last shot, down 15.
Payton Radliff, sneaky quick. Now Conley, looked into Mayu. Brown, he's going to drive in. Out to Moorhead, off the iron, no good. That'll do it for the first half of play. So, after 2 quarters, Richland 31, Stadium 16, a 15-point margin of lead for the Richland Bombers. The state regional playoff game between the Stadium Tigers and the Richland Bombers. Richland Bombers leading by a score of 31-16. Shaper, first half up and down. Seemed like in the beginning things going Stadium's way, but it's been swung to the Bombers.
Yeah,
what do they need to do?
It's almost like the Richland was just trying to kind of see what they laid on the table and was able to adapt really quick to it and take over. So Stadium, like as we said earlier before the break, they need to get in their offensive game, slow it up. I like the man-to-man press they're putting on here, which they kind of been playing all game, but it should slow it up a little bit. As DeVries pops in the bucket there for the Bombers, gives the Richland a 17-point lead at 33-16.
We got Bayo, Streufert, Radliff, DeVries on the court for the Bombers. That's Black and Conley off the iron. Here come the Bombers. Wide open layup, Jacob DeVries.
Yeah, and nobody home. Just nobody home, missed assignments. As Brown's about to come into the game, coach, not happy with the second half adjustments so far. And Bombers really, they're loading it down low. You see the 3 people in the paint, and that's really the Stadium's game. They can't get it in there anymore.
Yep, Tigers need a hot start here to the third quarter.
And as you said, Stadium, that gorgeous setting. And I know a lot of people might not know it was in that movie 10 Things I Hate About You with Heath Ledger.
Well, there's 10 things I hate about the Bombers. And it's been the 10 guys that have been out on the court here tonight. So Stadium, they just need to settle down here. Look into Mayu. Now here is Mayu, top of the key, guarded by Hilty. Back down to Brown. Brown pump fake, spin move, fade away. Count it.
Little shovel feet. And apparently that's what Stadium needs to do. Like we said, they're a team that passes it around and equally spreads the ball, but they haven't so far.
No call there on Streufert. Now Hilty, he'll reset the offense. Kicks it back over to Streufert from the three. He'll look for his shot. Now he's going to look to take Brown off the dribble. He'll do that out to the freshman Bayo, the three.
Boom,
count
baby.
it.
Holy cow.
20-point lead now for the Bombers.
38-18. They have doubled the Stadium Tigers ball club in a state tournament game.
Here's another steal. Radliff, he'll dribble. Going for layup, blocked by Mayu. So the 6'5" Mayu
Real agile,
blocks the 5'10"
athletic.
Radliff. And Radliff listed at 5'10". That's a generous 5'10".
Yeah.
39-18 as Radliff hits the front end of a two-shot foul.
Of course, Ratliff, a successful brother as well, and for Richland High School, almost got them to the state tournament back in, I think, 2009, 2010.
Yeah, I think that was a regional berth.
Regional state,
Regional,
now it's called state, before it's regional or whatever, but
40-18, largest lead of the game for the Bombers. 22 points. Powers, left hand, off the iron, rebounded by Bayo.
and it's not like Stadium's not getting looks. They're getting the looks they need. They're just not connecting. That was a short little three-footer they could have hit. Boom, baby!
There's Radliff.
And Richland is taking off right where they left off last week against Central Valley. They're hitting on all cylinders. Ratliff's going. Streufert's going down low and outside. I mean, the Richland Bombers really got it all going tonight.
25-point lead now for the Bombers. Largest lead of the game.
Cow.
5:15 remaining here in the third quarter. And when these kids from Richland get hot, it can make for a long night, especially when you're already down 23. So now you go up 25. In case you're watching this game and you're wondering, will we cover the Eastmont-Newport game? We will not be covering that game in a live stream. We anticipate heading up potentially to Tacoma to follow these Bombers next week. Stadium down to Strickland. Strickland, right hand off the iron, couldn't convert. Stadium's missed a ton of layups, Schaefer, a ton.
That's what they're getting shots. They're getting where they're getting shots that they want. And they need to go, but at this point, down 25, man, it's hard to this slow it up offense that's not used to scoring a lot of points. The most points they've scored, in a game is 67, and normally they average between 50 and 60. So
Powers with the foul on Bayo.
you can see the frustration setting in a little bit for this Stadium Ball Club. And Coach Croquet continuing to kind of mix it up, continue to try to get fresh legs in the game, trying to kind of sway something here, trying to find something that works.
Speaking of fresh legs, senior Lasky into the game for Powers.
I mean, and we've seen this is a state tournament. Anything can happen. This club's here for a reason. Yeah, it's 25, but you never know.
Bayo now, he'll take the three. Off the iron, rebounded by Mayu. He's going to push the issue over to Strickland, back into Mayu. He throws up the right hand. Offensive foul.
And in one of those that you might say could go either way, but Bayo was set. Feet were there, I thought. Sitting under there, got in time. He was centered. I think a good call by official on the end, although the stadium student section not agreeing.
Bombers now push the ball up the court, look for DeVries in the corner. He'll take the uncontested three ball.
Oh, baby!
From the corner for Jacob DeVries.
They like to do that on that full court press breaker. is hide one of the three-point shooters. In this case, it was DeVries. He spotted up in the corner, and he made the bucket as Brown.
Good bucket by Brown, but again, you see him kind of bobble it. It's just kind of happening all night. The stadium can't just keep, a good grip, control on the ball. It seems like they've kind of been slipping. And the Bombers, bombs away today. And unfortunately for Stadium on that side, don't think they've had a three yet today. First half, they definitely did it, and coming the second half, I haven't seen one. So
now Baird, he's going to look over for Radliff in the corner. He'll take the three-pointer. This one's going to be off the iron, though, rebounded by Mayo. He's going to toss it up to Strickland. Strickland, stolen by Radliff. Streufert looking for Hilty down low. The ball's going to be off of Hilty's hands. Tigers going to retain the ball. 46-20, 3:32 left to go here in the third quarter. 26-point lead from the Bombers.
And the thing with Bombers coming
and still in the press.
Yeah, still in the press. Hey, like you said, never over. As Streufert kind of gets a little touch tap after the shot there, no call.
Anderson Conley with the three.
But the Bombers just right now look like a well-oiled machine. I mean, inside, outside, everything's working for them. I mean, and when you have a post guy like Streufert who can drive into the lane and shoot from the outside, you really got to change up that offense, and then it leaves shooters open.
Yeah, you really got to defend. This is not a team that you can come out in a zone against. You just can't. They're able to move the ball and get to one of these great three-point shooters that they have. You've got to come out and defend them man-to-man and just
and then at the same time,
they were trying
that earlier, how do you
you got to be able to match, you got to be able to defend them out on the perimeter.
You defend them out on the perimeter, and then isn't it hard to
and you need a big guy there that can stop Streufert. Streufert's not your typical post because he is nimble.
And we've seen him develop in leaps and bounds, I believe, this season alone.
Now there are some kids that they're going to match up against here next week. Some kids out of Garfield, out of Bothell that can match up with Streufert. Plus, they got the athletes on the perimeter that can shut down some of these three-point shooters. So it's a tough task. As Anderson Conley misses the first free throw. 46-20, 2:38 remaining here in the third quarter. Second free throw, that'll be off the iron as well. Streufert bringing the ball up the court. Looks like the defense, the stadium just a little bit out of sync. Coach saying, who do you got? Baird. Over to Hilty. Hilty looking for a cutting Radliff. Off Radliff's hands, out of bounds.
Yeah, just bounced off his hands there. It's one of those things. You gotta have this, soft hands, as they say in football.
Soft pressure still for the Bombers. They're gonna drop back into the half-court set. Brown,
26
bringing the ball up.
The Bombers are now in that mode where they can go conservative now with this 26-point lead, 2 minutes to go in the third.
I don't think they're going to go too conservative, though, as here's a three-point attempt.
I mean, offensive end. We'll see.
Lasky off the iron. Rebounded by Baird. Yeah. Certainly can be conservative, more conservative. Take their time on offense now. 26-point lead.
I mean, just kill it.
I think they're going to go pedal to the metal, though.
But mathematically, you play it out, the game's over. I'd say try to rush it there and, turn over there.
Now some subs into the game for the Bombers. Levi Broeske and Drew McCullough in for Hilty and DeVries. (46-20), minute 30 remaining here in the third quarter. Brown, he'll take a three-pointer, count it.
Oh, there's the first one. Boom, baby, for Brown.
So Brown, who's not afraid to take the ball up the court, hits the three.
And, Brown, a bigger guard, quick, agile than we're used to seeing. Can definitely, be effective on many teams.
Now the foul called on Brown. Lasky, Moorhead, Mayu, Brown. and Anderson Conley on the floor for Stadium.
Looked like the same play a little bit ago to Radliff, but just bounced off the hands of Broeske.
Still soft full court man by the Bombers. Into Moorhead. Moorhead over to Brown, looking for a three-pointer. Nope, he's going to kick it back to Moorhead.
And at this stage of the game, you have
Back to
23. You got to start firing if you're Stadium.
He wants that three-pointer. Conley.
There's a three.
Over to Lasky. Lasky, three-pointer off the iron, rebounded by Streufert. Back to Radliff. Bombers going to reset, run a half-court offense. 27 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Radliff, he'll take the three-pointer.
Looked like an ill-advised shot by Radliff, but that's what he does. He's got a very smooth, quick release. And on that stage, he got a little bit off balance and wasn't able to hit it.
That foul's on Nathan Streufert, his second of the game.
Of course, we saw Radliff hit a buzzer beater against Chiawana earlier in the year.
Mayu. Call for a travel. Looks like he slipped on something there, but they're just called a travel.
Yeah, it looked like a little slick spot. Nothing you can do about it. Just not getting the breaks tonight are the Stadium Tigers.
Strickland for Anderson Conley.
Pretty good crowd tonight. I'd say a couple thousand. Not quite the crowd we're used to seeing it. You know.
Turnover. Brown. He's going to be fouled by Broeske. And Brown a little shook up there on that foul.
And I'm really surprised how Richland was really able to lock down the guards of the Tigers, the bigger guards. You know, got 2-3 inches on them.
3 seconds, Streufert. He's going to hoist up a three-pointer, good if it goes.
You know.
And yes, Brown did foul Streufert on that play, but I don't think the refs wanted to bail him out because he kind of was fading away in a crappy shot. Good no call, I thought, on that end.
Back live here on the Washington Sports Network. Zenith Thornton, Schaefer Murray. Big thanks to the Richland Bomber Boosters for sponsoring this broadcast. Hey, make sure to check out Washington Sports Network's The Zone every Thursday, 10:35 on Fox 11. Full recap of this game, plus post-game interviews on next Thursday's show.
They really got it all on The Zone. You know that you got a top 10, you got everything.
Hey, and also head out to the website. Also have post-game interviews from this game, as the ball's going to be out of bounds there.
As well as post-game interviews from tonight's game as well. We should have them up there.
The Eastmont-Newport game will not be a live webcast. Our next live webcast anticipated probably for a state Richland game, pending sponsorship. Mayu converts. First bucket of the fourth quarter, there goes the Stadium. They'd like to keep that going. They need a bunch of points, though, to chip into this. Defense. Ball going to be off of Stadium. Bayo, Hilty, Streufert, Radliff, and DeVries on the court for the Bombers. Mayu, Strickland, Brown, Powers, and Lasky as Jacob DeVries gets the layup.
DeVries put it in. You know, gets everything working tonight for Richland. Gets the long shot, which you don't see much by Radliff when he was able to get an easy lay-in.
Lasky now almost turns it over. Back over to Mayu. Mayu to Strickland, count it.
You know, and the thing I haven't given much credit to tonight is Richland's defense tonight. They've just been absolutely lights out. Stealing the ball, hands on the ball, getting a body on people, not giving them room to shoot. They've done it all.
DeVries, three-pointer off the iron, rebounded by Hilty, blocked by Strickland. Bucket, and the foul.
And put him on the line.
Mason Hilty.
Nice play by Mason Hilty. And things starting to set in a little bit for the Stadium Tigers here as the Bombers up 23.
Just out hustled for the rebound.
You know, and you said it. I said Streufert's going to slow it up. You know, just kind of just lay back a little bit. You said pedal to the metal, and sure enough, they're still firing threes. They're still taking it with a lot of time on the shot clock. So this is Bomber basketball for you.
Hilty converts 51-27. Eric Anderson Conley back into the game for Nathan Lasky. Powers off the iron. Mayo off the iron. There has been a lid on the basket for the Stadium Tigers all game long.
We were hoping that, you know, for the Stadium Tigers' sake, that the lid would open up going on that different side of the hoop, but it just hasn't.
Streufert on the block, being harassed by a couple of Tigers. Strickland comes down with a rebound, out to Brown. He's going to toss the ball to Conley. Conley, short jumper, count it.
And there's a nice shot there by Conley, but again, a pull-up shot. If he would have missed that, nobody there, nobody around there. It's just.
Now here's a turnover by the Tigers. Strickland to Mayu, over to Powers. Conley down low, can't convert. Brown, he'll hoist up a three-pointer. Mayu, bucket.
And, you know, Stadium Tigers down 20. But, I mean, you still see the fans came here to see a show. They believe in their team. Student section still cheering loud. They haven't gone home. They're still hoping for something. They want to go to Tacoma, which is their home.
On the court for the Tigers, Streufert, Hilty, Radliff, DeVries.
Nice little hook and ladder there.
Bayo on the court for the Bombers. Man-to-man defense by the Tigers.
I think Bombers realizing, they need to.
Brown on Bayo.
Yep.
He'll drive, and he's going to draw the foul.
Just what I was about to say. They realize they need to slow it up. Again, they go pedal to the metal, as you say.
Well, he recognized the matchup. He had the larger Brown on him. Knew he had the quickness against him. Did just what he should, take it to the basket. Bayo converts on the first one. Now the draws for the field of 8, that'll happen tomorrow over in Renton. So teams will not know their matchups until tomorrow afternoon. I believe 3 p.m. is when the state draw will occur.
And you can catch that live on the WIA website under WIA Network. So they actually do the draw live for you on webcast.
Tigers can't convert, rebound, Bombers. Bayo. Ball deflected. Mayu now driving the other way. And the foul will be on Stephen Bayo.
Yeah, and overall tonight, the Bombers just doing what they came to do. Like we said earlier, taking over from last week. They know the implications of this game. They're young, but they don't care. They want to get to the state tournament.
Hard foul by Mayu.
Or I should say they want to get to the field of 8. They're in the state tournament now. They want to get to the official field of 8 to Tacoma.
Mayu wanting an explanation from the referee. Ref felt that like he gave him a little extra shoulder action, which is why they called the foul. So here comes Radliff and the Bombers. A wide open Stephen Bayo.
And you can see the frustration of Lucius Brown at the stadium. Where is our defense? And it's kind of seemed like that all night. They just can't get a number on this Richland Bombers team. Again, with the errant pass.
DeVries up to Hilty. Foul and a basket. So when it rains, it pours.
Yeah, a little brush there. Could have called the no call, but now Richland extended again to a 26-point lead. Only 4:10 remaining in the game.
That's Brown's 4th foul. He'll come out of the game.
Lucius Brown, just a junior, so he'd be back next year on the starting squad, I'm sure.
Black and Coley in the game, and Moorhead along with Mayu, Anderson, Connolly, and Powers. Rebounded by Mayu, the junior, 6'5" junior, out of Tacoma. Black and Coley over to Powers, being tightly guarded by DeVries. There's Conley to the basket. He'll be fouled.
Couple shoves on that play. Anderson Conley, his last game possibly here today.
Second free throw converted now. 57-33. Full court press by the Tigers. They get the turnover. Black and Coley off the iron. Rebounded by Mayu. Can't convert.
Bombers again, just all over defensively. Richland 325. Just going to pass it around. They can start to smell Tacoma at this point.
Yeah, and it smells great. Nice move by Streufert. 59-33, 3:06 remaining here in the game. 26-point lead. Mayu short jumper, count it.
You know, as we said, you know, in this field of 16, we have 3 other teams from the Narrows Conference with Stadium. You know,
Bayo.
The other teams did beat Stadium, but I mean, we're talking about 3 other teams in this conference, and then you have Curtis, who was also beat by somebody in this conference. So Richland is just going to kind of stroll in there, and they have every, you know, intention of winning this thing.
Well, you know, it could happen. There's some good teams they're going to face over there at Tacoma. There's some games happening right now, the 4 p.m. games. Then there's a set of 6 p.m. games. So we'll know here about 8:30 who is in the field of 8. Now, we won't know the matchups until tomorrow, 3 p.m. over in Renton at the WIAA offices. They'll do the draw, and I believe it's typically a blind draw. They basically put the numbers or the names in a hat, pick them out randomly for the matchups.
Richland compete with the best of them, especially if they're playing like they are tonight.
Mayo converts on the free throw, 60-35.
You know, there's a 15-point lead at half. We were thinking maybe they could chip away at it, but Richland has continued to just, you know, drive the game.
Moorhead with the 3, just in and out. Crandall, Jason Crandall, the freshman, into the game for the Bombers.
You know, and Bayo really getting some minutes tonight as a freshman. You know.
Yeah, Bayo's been a starter pretty much all year as Streufert goes hard to the basket. Count it. They've just had no answer for Streufert. Just been a step quicker and a little bit more confident.
Just a junior, and you know, we saw him working hard in the summer and really, you know, perfecting his game for this moment.
Here goes Radliff with the steal and the finish.
And that, yeah, that'll do it, I think, with just 1:38 left. Coach going to bring in the, you know, the seniors.
Another steal by the Bombers. Streufert, pedal to the metal still. Ball's going to go out of bounds off the Tigers. Bomber ball.
So Nate Anderson coming in the game. Have we seen him yet tonight?
Nope.
And this is, yeah, looks like his last game, but man, he's a tall one as well. He's got some length on him. And he's going to get a little PT as a senior.
Here Coach Koke's going to empty his bench. The Bombers look like they're going to head to Tacoma. McCullough off the iron. And there's Budzig, the junior.
Standing ovation for Payton Radliff, who comes out of the game.
And Nathan Streufert, as the crowd is really
Going crazy for these guys who drove the win. And I mean, we thought it was going to be a close game. We thought, you know, maybe Richland would pull it off, but 64-35 I did not expect.
in the state game. This was just a very impressive showing by the Bombers.
McCullough with a three. They're still
boom, baby! It doesn't end.
Pedal to the metal, foot on the throat. Richland trying to make a statement. Brown from the outside. It's going to be off the iron. And now it's starting to get just a tad bit chippy.
Is that Glockenkolli's?
He's got four.
That's his four. He's a senior as well.
Looked like his last game as a Stadium Tiger as well. Sophomore Carson Miller coming
39.8 seconds.
As well as Nate Perry, the junior.
Guys that we don't see much, but give him a little play time in state.
Broeske at the line, shooting two.
You know, and we can kind of hear the frustration out of the stadium players and stuff like that. But I mean, they had, like you said, they haven't been to even the state playoffs since 2007. I mean, they just have a nice year that they put together this year. Was able to make it this far, go 10-2 in conference. So definitely something for the Stadium Tigers to build on for next year.